salut à tous, c'est le numéro 289. Aujourd'hui on se retrouve sur une nouvelle vidéo de Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. Et on va voir qui va être loyal jusqu'à la fin en combattant le Peace Walker. Peace Walker qui a l'IA, l'intelligence artificielle de The Boss, le menteur de Big Boss. Et on va attaquer le Peace Walker, on va l'arrêter.
Peace Walker's active, and its self-defense system is targeting you, Snake. You better find a way to stop it quick.
Ouais, donc il nous a pris pour cible parce qu'on l'a attaqué. Comme un con, mais bon, d'un côté, ça au moins les autres ils vont pas nous attaquer. Enfin, je veux dire, au moins il va pas faire sa mission principale. Comment on dit, c'est une mince. Comment on dit déjà le mot? Ouais, bon, on l'occupe. J'arrive plus à retrouver le mot, c'est bête. Hein. Bon. Combattre le Peace Walker.
Be careful, Snake. I have no advice on dealing with El Basilisco's attacks, but you may be able to use its size against it. Its movements will probably be just as big, meaning it should give some kind of warning before most of its attacks.
That's true.
It might be good to start out by studying its movements, watching what it does before each attack. That should help you avoid most of them. And weapons that walk always have one guaranteed weakness.
The legs.
Right. Destroy its legs, and you'll stop it from moving. You might even be able to knock it on its back if you're lucky. Just make sure you are out of the way first.
Pas con, Amanda. Et ouais, qu'est-ce que tu peux me dire sur ce que t'as construit?
Peace Walker contains an assembly of two AI pods. One of them is the mammal pod, which Dr. Strangelove developed. The other's the reptile pod, which is mine.
What's the difference?
The reptile pod is the attitude control AI. If it's destroyed, Peace Walker grinds to a halt. The mammal pod is responsible for making the decisions regarding nuclear retaliation, reflex, and thought. One is the brainstem and cerebellum, the other the cerebrum.
So, the one that houses the will of the boss
would be the mammal pod.
Ouais. Loyal jusqu'à la fin.
We call it the reptile pod for a reason. The parts of our brains that govern basic life and reflex developed ages ago, when our ancestors were still reptiles.
We were reptiles?
Well, only at one stage of our evolution. The theory was proposed by the neuroscientist Paul MacLean.
Huh.
The reptile brain corresponds to the brainstem and basal ganglia in our brain. The reptile pod also incorporates the functions of the cerebellum.
So basically, it's the deep parts of the brain.
Dr. Strangelove came up with the name.
Et bah voilà, l'unité mammifère, The Boss, loyal jusqu'à la fin, comme je l'ai dit.
The part of our brain that developed after we became mammals is responsible for high-level brain functions.
Such as?
Such as intelligence, judgment, even love.
That's high level, all right.
Location-wise, the mammal brain is on the outside of the reptile brain. The cerebral cortex is part of it. I think it's very telling that Dr. Strangelove named her pod Mammal. It's almost like she wants it to be more than just an advanced AI. What she really wants is for it to have a mind of its own.
La conscience de The Boss. Ça va être un combat difficile. Bon. Alors évidemment, on va bien s'armer. Non, parce que l'autre, j'en ai pas vraiment besoin. Bon, allez, on va bien voir comment ça va se passer, notre combat. Allez, hop. Duel contre ce foutu Peace Walker. Et chute de FPS, évidemment. Je sais pas pourquoi, faudra me le lire. Oui. Sacré bestiau, hein. Eh ben.
There it is. It's still in range.
Peace Walker's estimated top speed on level terrain is 25 miles an hour.
Come on, I bet you can do at least 30.
Paz is on board the Hind too.
I noticed that.
She's our client. We have to protect her. Snake, don't let Peace Walker get away.
The day is dawning. Go!
Yeah.
Voilà. C'était ma reproduction de la musique. C'était épique. Waouh. Épique, épique, épique et collecra.
Snake.
Cuz, Peace Walker's gone. They've got Paz too.
Yeah, but
Why, Cuz? What would Coldman want with Paz?
Paz was with the professor, i.e. the KGB. Once Coldman discovered that, he figured out what was really going on between Paz and Galvez.
He's trying to figure out how the KGB plan to stop Peace Walker. And he thinks he can get the info from Paz.
That's crazy. Paz won't know anything.
Oh, he probably doesn't buy that.
You think Galvez has already been killed? By grabbing Paz, Coldman's saying,
Stay out of this, or lose your client.
damn it! I can't believe we didn't realize what was going on before we lost contact with Paz.
Don't have time for that, Cuz.
Snake.
Paz needs our help.
Right. This isn't about money anymore. You better move. We know where they're headed.
Yeah.
You can thank Amanda.
Snake, that river you chased the Basilisco across is the Rio San Juan. The other side is our country. I had some Nicaraguan compas track it there. They're focus from the GPP faction, so we don't work together so much.
Where'd it go?
West, along the border, towards Lago Cocibolca.
There's a U.S. military supply base on the southeastern shore of the lake. Ever since that earthquake 2 years ago, America's had the entire region to itself.
That is where the Basilisco is. I'm sure of it.
Lago Cocibolca. How do I get across the border?
There's a route that we use to cross. It's just a little boat, but I can introduce you to the captain.
I appreciate it.
We will never leave Nicaragua at the mercy of someone like William Walker again.
Snake, Coldman's going to launch the nuke from that base. He's targeting MSF. Based on what Huey's told us, it'll take 2 more days to prep for launch. But it looks like there's another reason they picked that date.
What's that?
Tomorrow is day 1 of a US-Soviet summit in Vladivostok. The launch is probably connected somehow.
That's right. They're holding the SALT II talks.
You think Coldman's trying to disrupt the negotiations?
Either that, or use it as a bargaining chip.
He's still got Paz, too. At any rate, we're running out of time.
I'll figure something out.
Eh ben, ce jeu est juste super. Hein. Vraiment. Eh ben. Oh. Pauvre petit hôpital, il est à l'hôpital. Merci. Ça fait zizir. Et ben voilà, franchement, que dire, à part que c'était juste épique. Non, franchement, j'ai trouvé ce niveau épique. Rien à dire. Hein. Rien à dire, rien à dire. Non, bah voilà. J'aimerais voir le Metal Gear, notre Metal Gear à nous. Est-ce qu'il pourrait nous défendre contre Peace Walker? Ah. Il manque encore 2-3 trucs, hein. Je sais pas comment on fait pour tout y avoir. De toute façon, s'il le faut, je sais que la fin elle est un peu compliquée. Enfin, il y a un moyen spécial pour l'avoir, la fin. Comme beaucoup de Metal Gear d'ailleurs. Je ferai des quêtes secondaires pour ça. Pour l'avoir. Bref. Sur ce, je peux vous dire salut à tous, c'était Nero 199. On se retrouvera prochainement pour le chapitre 4 de Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. Et sur ce, je vous dis salut à tous.